change. These prisons, because these human bodies, these corrupt bodies, are linking under chains of darkness. Okay? Which is a prison. These are prisons for our spirits. And Yahweh Shai, he's coming back to make us free, man.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, LGMS, rule well. Peace and blessing, salutations, hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners that have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. And what I want to get into today, just dealing with some geopolitical news, dealing with China, relations with America, how, these things tie into prophecy, because at the end of the day, everything that we see happening, every major thing that we see happening in the earth is addressed, all right, in prophecy, and that's what separates the Bible, from everything else, all right? That's the big separator, of the Bible from every other doctrine, all right, that's on earth, is how, the prophecies, or the Bible, all right, come to pass, all right, real time. Now, I want to get this.
If you're feeling sluggish, bloated around the waist, or even just plain backed up, and you're ready to flush out that extra 5 to 20 pounds of toxic poop, then give Zufu a try for 14.
All right, so we're gonna go to RT America, which this guy Rick Sanchez, he does a pretty good job at reporting, different world news. Lord willing, I start keeping up with his 25-minute segments. I start reporting on them more, but going into it, all right, he's dealing with Biden, latest talk. All right, dealing with the, his first 100 days and how he's always mentioning China, because China, plays a major role within end time prophecy, and when you look at China, China is the heathen nation that's most conformed into this beast system of Esau, Edom, and we're going to see it, within this, within this news clip, which he's going to go into it. So I'm gonna play this. We're gonna get some precepts. Lord will, you brothers, and you few sisters are edified. All right. Let me know if it sound good with the video.
Live from the world headquarters of RT America in our nation's capital, this is the news with Rick Sanchez.
And hi, everybody. I'm Rick Sanchez, and I want to welcome our viewers from all over the world, including those of you who are watching us on the portable TV app. There were a couple of interesting takeaways from President Biden's 100-day speech last night, much anticipated. First was that the speech was very well written. Second was that it was surprisingly well delivered. And third, and this is obviously the most important point, when it comes to foreign policy, the U.S., we came away with the impression in this speech, must find a way to catch up to China. In fact, here, we've got some cuts for you. I want you to listen to this. Take a listen. Here it is.
China, President Xi. Think about it. There is simply no reason why the blades for wind turbines can't be built in Pittsburgh instead of Beijing. I spent a lot of time with President Xi. China, President Xi. Every nation plays by the same rules in the global economy, including China.
So there you have it. I mean, if you listen to the speech, we grabbed as many as we could. There were probably more than that. So the message is quite clear. China is beating us at our own game in so many ways. And we can't continue to let that happen. That's the message from Mr. Biden. Got it, right? But here's the irony. No sooner was President Biden done talking last night about China, 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 and how we have to catch up to China, when suddenly China was announcing that it will be doing this. Look at that thing. See that? That's called the Tianhe. Tianhe, translation, heavenly harmony. China is announcing that this week, by Thursday, it's going to launch what is a core module using this Long March 5B rocket. And wait, there's more. This is going to be part of a space station that China is going to now be building to mark the first time that China is going to have its very own permanent space station up there in space. Look, this is a huge step forward for China's space exploration program. And it comes just at the time that Mr. Biden and his administration is coming to terms, as we heard repeatedly last night, with trying to come up with a way to compete, beat, or somehow slow down China. But here's the takeaway in all of this, right? When it really comes down to space exploration and space technology in general, both the United States and Russia have been leaps and bounds ahead of China. In fact, since the 1990s, China has tried and failed many times to really establish equal footing when it comes to a space program. Now, by combining the tech prowess that China has established over the past decade with companies like this, with Lenovo and Tencent and Huawei, this could very well change. The China of today, technologically speaking, is not the China of the 90s. So we're going to drill down on this here on the News with Rick Sanchez, where we believe, by golly, it's time to do news again.
All right, so we're gonna pause it there. We're gonna come back to it. We're gonna get a couple more scriptures to kind of, sum up what's going on, dealing with China. Now, let me share this Bible. All right. Now you see China, is heavily invested, in going into space, which the scripture prophesy, who will be doing it, man, and it will be these Edomites. You see, so when you go into let's get Obadiah, just to drive that point home, but you see, Moab is heavily invested, into going into space, which they were influenced by who? All right, this is Obadiah 1:4. It says, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, because you got Moab talking about they want to, do a space station. All right, they got satellites up there through their tech companies. All right, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. So as we see, Moab is following, all right, Esau to their destruction, man. Like the scripture saying Revelation, we'll get that, and we'll go more in depth into it. But just want to sum it up real quick. All right, this is Revelation 18:3. It says, for all nations, and this is how you know that Esau, Edom, are the people that's in power. These so-called white people that are in power, that they are Edomites. And they're doing exactly what the Bible said, that they will be doing, all right, in these times, man. And that's influencing, all right, all these nations in wickedness, all right, and mainly through who? America, all right, the whore that sitteth on many waters, man, on many people. All right, means what her influence rests upon many people. Now, when you go to Revelation 18:3, it says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication." Yeah, that philosophy, that doctrine. You see, these heathens are heavily influenced by the doctrine, the philosophies of Esau, Edom, through America. It says, "And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." Yeah, because Moab, had this thriving economy because why? All right, you got Nike, all right, plants over there, Jordan plants, all right, you got Apple, plants over there. They make all this merchandise. Then who buys all these merchandise? You see, it probably costs $40 to make one iPhone 12, 11, 13, whatever one they own now, but they can sell it in America, all right, for $1,100, man. However much, however much the phone is going for. But the reason, all right, these nations are wax rich, all right, is because the consumerism of America, and China is the biggest beneficiary of America's consumerism. All right, Jake camp out, for a pair of Jordans that are made in China, all right, for about $5 a piece, but sold here for 500, man. So Moab has been a big beneficiary, for being in league, Esau, Edom, and they always had, an alliance. Even when you go back to the ancient world, Eliashua Wamba always goes into it, But let's get some more of the video. Go back to the video. See if I made it full screen again.
All right, here's a list of the questions we think you'll be asking tomorrow after watching our newscast today. Just how far ahead is China, and is beating them now almost a fool's errand? Is Taiwan right to be concerned about an imminent China attack? And killer mosquitoes, genetically modified, released in Florida. Should we worry? We ask. So China's sending a module up in space this week to begin an ambitious space station program, and it's also planning a trip to the moon. Can Beijing do with space what they've already done with all other types of technology? We ask, and we assigned a reporter to look into this. Here's RT correspondent Trinity Chavez.
Today, the launch of a new era in Chinese space exploration. The core module of China's first permanent space station, Tianhe, or Heavenly Harmony, successfully blasted off into space on Thursday from the southern island of Hainan. 10 minutes after liftoff, it successfully separated from its Long March 5B rocket, the launch kicking off the first of 11 missions needed to complete, supply, and crew the station by the end of next year. The 55-foot-long module contains the space station's control center, power supply, and living quarters for 3 astronauts. Water on board will be fully recycled. The other 10 launches will send up 2 more modules where the crews will conduct experiments, 4 cargo supply shipments, and 4 missions with crews. China began plans to build the station in the 1990s, but was nearly sidelined because of the pandemic. The station is the latest major advance for Chinese space exploration. 12 astronauts are now training to fly and live in the station in 6-month rotations, with the first crewed mission set to take place in June. Meantime, the station is expected to be fully completed by 2022. China has made no secret of its ambitions to become an international space power to rival the U.S. and has been collaborating closely with Russia to do so. Meantime, Washington has banned Beijing from working with NASA because of security concerns. Reporting in New York, Trinity Chavez, RT.
Joining us now is someone that's very good at talking about these types of things. Professor Richard Wolff of economics at UMass Amherst, also Rick Tomlinson. He is the founder and the chairman of Space Fund. My thanks to both of you for joining us. Rick, I want to begin with you. There's a lot of talk about China not being good with space, if you know what I mean. They have been good at almost everything else, but they don't have a good track record when it comes to this. Do you think they'll succeed?
Oh, absolutely. I think they have the tenacity, the long-range planning, and the technology. And, a lot of it came from us. But I think they're going to go for it. I think they're very, very serious about this. It's a part of their plan to sort of reassert China as a terrestrial power.
Richard, I have to ask about this irony that just as President Biden was concluding his speech yesterday, a speech that was, as we showed, laden with China references and how we have to beat them and catch up to them, and by golly, we can do it. It was inspiring in many ways, but just as he's concluding his speech, China's firing off a rocket to create a space station, right? What signals does that send?
Well, I think it's one more in a long list of signs, as you rightly say, that the United States is going to have to come to terms with a very old historical story. Periodically, one nation, for a whole variety of reasons, becomes a dominant world power.
Now, we're going to go into this statement that he just made, because Esau, he always tries to rationalize, all right, why a nation comes into power, but we know it's through the pure will of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, but we're going to address, Moab, and then we're going to address, all right, nations coming into power and nations going out of power, all right? So let me open up, let's open up the Apocrypha. All right, and deal with the prophecy, man, concerning yep. Because I say the scripture address everything, man, and Moab, is conforming itself, unto all right, America, man, which is gonna be a horrible decision in the near future, man. All right. All right. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. All right, verse 46, and it says, "And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person." All right, and that's what we're seeing. All right, Moab, they want to be, all right, a superpower after the format of America, man. You see, because what's happening is the elites are done with America. And the reason why, like when you see a nation that wasn't doing so good, then all of a sudden, they're surpassing, a lot of nations, whether it be in, space, space exploration, weapons, economy. Whenever you see that happening, that's because the elite bankers are investing in that nation. You see, and what we're seeing is they're liquidating America and investing more in the East. See, the elites think they're gonna rule out of Jerusalem, all right, and Moab is going to be like a big giant plantation. You see, like America is, and Russia is going to be the muscle. So we're seeing a lot of money and investments going into, all right, to the east, you see, and Moab is down with the play, which is going to prove to be very destructive, for the future of Moab. All right, and it says, "And thou, Asia, that are partake of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her." You see that? Moab is making theirself like unto a damn Edomite, man. Like to America. And it says, and has decked thy daughters in whoredom, that they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Yeah, Esau been wanting to turn, you know, about, man. You know, yeah, they been want to turn more about. That's what they did. You see, it said, "Thou hast followed her." You see that? Revenge on thee to waste out. And all right, because by being the bulk of their destruction, so we emphasize on it. But Yahweh Shema Shai about to jack up a lot of heathens in these times, man. All these heathens about to be jacked up, man. You know, what's that? Obadiah 1 and 15. If a brother can put that on the comment board, Obadiah 1 and 15. All right, and it says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence to waste thy houses with destruction and death, and the glory of the power shall be dried up. All right, as flour when the heat shall arise that is sent over thee. Yeah, because missiles gonna hit Moab. All right, it's just not gonna be completely obliterated like America. All right. But hey, missiles gonna hit the chariots. All right. Hey, how shot come to see all heathens, man. You know, we know his main, all right, the top, you know, of his hit list is these Edomites, you know. But he's gonna see about all these heathen nations, man. That's why he's gonna have many crowns, man. He's coming to conquer all heathen nations, man. It says, "Thou shalt be weakened, all right, as a poor woman with stripes, and as one chastening with wounds, so that the mighty and lovers, all right, shall not be able to receive thee." Yeah, man. So Moab finna get bust up too with this world judgment, man. You see? So we finna see, all right, a great global, all right, judgment, you know, dealing with all these heathens, man. That's why when you go to the water, brother, you know, this is from the brother Bayan Yasha Allah, Obadiah 1 and 15 said, "For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen." Now, this whole chapter, this whole book Obadiah is dedicated, you know, to the rise and the fall and the destruction of Esau Edom, you know, and all these heathens that participate with him. All right, it said, "For the day of the Lord Yahweh Shem Al Shai is near upon all heathen, as thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head." You see? So this the time that we coming into, man, and we see, all right, that that Moab, you know, has been the most turned out heathen, you know, by this American influence. Now, let's go back to the video. It's a little more I want to play on there and get some more precepts. All right. Well, now we finna see Esau try to rationalize, you know, why nations go out of power and come into power. You see, that's one of the things about these Edomites. They don't include Yahweh Shema Shai, you know, in worldly affairs. You know, they push their free will mindset. You know, they try to rationalize it, you know, with geopolitics. But no, man. Hey, we follow geopolitics, you know, to expound on prophecy, man. You know, it's at the end of the day, we know the end game. We just watch, you know, we keep up with geopolitics because we can see the gradual, all right, process of the Lord's prophecy coming to pass, you know, but everything is centered around prophecy, man, you know, rooted in prophecy. So let's go back to it.
as inevitable as the sun rising each day, that dominant position is eventually undone. Others are competing. They become, the leading one becomes the one to beat. You rightly say that the United States is going to have to come to terms with a very old historical story. Periodically, one nation, for a whole variety of reasons, becomes a dominant world power. But as inevitable as the sun rising each day, that dominant position is eventually undone. Others are competing. They become, the leading one becomes the one to beat. The model, that's why Rick is right. Their space program is built on ours, as ours was built on discoveries made in other countries earlier. And the United States had to understand, unless it was crazy, that its dominant position after World War II, when every potential competitor country had been wiped out, at least economically, by the war, that this unusual position would not last forever. And it's now clear that it is over and that we have a very serious competitor who builds on stuff we did, like we did on stuff other countries did. But the baton is passing, and the United States has two choices: trying to stop it by hitting them with tariffs and trade wars and military maneuvers, which is a hopeless quest, or to come to terms with a change situation to manage this transition so nobody gets hurt as we go through a shift. The second is the only sane policy. My hope is that the leaders of the United States will figure that out.
You know, wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be novel? And I know it's so unlike our.
So Esau threw his two options out there. No, none of those are options. All right. The Bible tell you exactly what it's gonna be. Now let's go back to the blue letter. You know, no, them ain't the options that America got. You see, nobody has options, man. Everybody's subjugated, you know, to the prophecies, all right, of the scriptures, man. You know, so let's get in the blue letter. All right. So let's deal with let's go to Daniel, the 4th chapter. Now this is the book of Daniel, chapter 4, all right, verse 17. It says, "This matter is by decree of the watchers." Now remember, this is Nebuchadnezzar, you know, all right. They're saying this because he was humbled down. The Most High, all right, had made, all right, him likened unto a beast, had changed his mind to where he thought he was an actual beast of the field. You see, bugged him out, you know, and when he came back, when the Most High took that spirit off of him, he was humbled down. And this is what he had to say, all right, the ruler of ancient Babylon. It said, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know," all right, the living, us on earth, all right, so that the earth, the inhabitants of the earth can know, all right, that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of the men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the bases of men. You see? So it's not about, all right, these nations having options and exercising the options that they got. No, the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he set up whomsoever he will. And he chose to set Esau, Edom up in these latter days according to what? Prophecy, man. When you read Daniel, the 7th chapter, and he goes through all those different beasts which represent empires, those empires came and went in the order that Daniel prophesied, man. You know? Then the Persians didn't come, all right, before the Assyrians. You see, the Assyrians didn't come after the Romans. No, they came and went in the order that they was prophesied to come and go in, man. You see, you can't break it. You see, the Bible is undefeated. You know, so let's get another one. When you go to the book of Psalms, all right, I believe it's 75. All right, this is Psalm 75, and I started 4. It says, I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked lift not up the horn. You see? And Esau Edom has lifted up his horn, his power that was given to him on high. Esau has exalted himself as if he put himself in power. That's the mind frame of an Edomite. You know, you hear these things called natural selection and, you know, manifest destiny. Well, you know, it was your destiny to come into power, but you didn't do it of yourselves. You see, you was lifted up, all right, by Yahweh Shema Shai. But see, Esau pride has deceived him, as the scriptures say, you know. So reading on verse 4, it says, I said unto the fools, deal not foolishly, and to the wicked lift not up the horn. Lift not up your horn on high, speak not with a stiff neck. You see, speak not with a stiff neck. And that's what Esau Edom is doing. Like, you can't tell him, you know, you can't tell him that his power structure, all right, will be removed. You can't tell Esau, you know, that his you know, his current empire is not, all right, eternal, man. You know, he's fully set in establishing his empire in the earth, you know, perpetually, man. This wicked empire perpetually, man. His neck is stiff. That's why he's making the moves that he's making, man. All right, trying to alter genes in people, you know, trying to send, you know, different mRNA messages to your DNA, trying to, you know, put the MOB in everyone. All these things that he's doing, that's him having a stiff neck and trying to keep his rulership going. You know, verse 6, it says, for promotion cometh neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south. Let's get that word promotion, see what it goes into. You know, get that word promotion. All right. It says to rise up, to be lawfully, to be exalted. All right. To be lifted, to rise. Yeah. To cause to grow. You see that? Because the American empire started as what, man? You know, as 13 colonies. You know, these Edomites came over here. You see? Then you had these elite bankers. They started off, you know, as one family, you know, starting with the Rothschilds, you know, sending his sons, Amshire, Rothschild, you know, sending his 5 sons he sent out, you know, and now they built the empire, all right, and they have been exalted. They building a bank empire, all right, that runs to all the currencies of the earth. You see? So this Edomite empire, you know, started off small, but the Most High has caused it to grow. Their promotion came from the Most High to cause it to grow and to be exalted in the earth. You see? So promotion, like it says, when you go back into it, all right. Let's go back into Psalm 75. All right, this is Psalm 75 and 6. It said, for promotion coming neither from the east, nor from the west, nor from the south, but the Most High is the judge. He put it down one and set it up another. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup. You see, the Most High is the judge of who rules and who doesn't. And see, we're in the time now where Yahweh Shema Shai is ready to establish his son, all right, as the eternal king of earth. You see? Esau's trying to prevent an eternal rulership from coming to the earth, man. You know, that's why he's doing all these things to come up against, all right, the men of Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai. You know, he's putting weapons in space, you know, preparing to fight against Yahweh Shai. You know, when he returns, why, man? He's trying to prevent, all right, he's trying to prevent the eternal rulership of Israel that's to come. But see, he doesn't have the last say so. Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai is the judge. He put it down one, which he's getting ready to put down this empire and set up another. And it's going to be the kingdom of Israel. All right. You got them gooks don't have necks. All right. You Russians, you don't have necks. You see, all you heathens finna go into captivity. All right. Why does the heathen rage and imagine the vain thing? All right. Verse 8, it says, for in the hand of the Lord Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, there is a cup, and the wine is red, it is full of mixture, and he poured out of the same. Yeah, hey, because the Most High, he controls who receives that cup. You see, that cup, you know, of slavery, that cup of poverty, that cup of destruction. You see, the Most High, he controls who receives that cup. And see, now that cup is finna be passed to America. You know, a brother put that, a brother can put Lamentations 4 and 21 and 22, you know, which is a link with this. All right, this Psalm 75 and 8 again says, for in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red, it is full of mixture. Yeah, hey, because Esau finna get a cup, and Most High is putting slavery in that cup. He's putting poverty, he's putting destruction. You know, he putting the curses in that cup, and he mixing that cup, and he's finna pass it to Esau, man. All right, you see, and all these other nations, they finna get that cup passed to them that we had to drink of, man. You see, and it's gonna be a double shot of what we had. It says, and he poured out of the same, but the dregs thereof, which is the worst part. All right, the worst part, you know, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. Yeah, that's what we're finna see. You know, Esau Edom is about to drink that cup, man. That cup is being mixed as we speak. You see, that cup of destruction for Esau Edom is being mixed as we speak. All right. So, let's see, that brother put it. I get it. I just get it from here. This is the book of Lamentations. All right, and it's gonna reiterate, you know, what we just went over. All right, so this is book of Lamentations, chapter 4, verse 21. It says, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwellest in the land of Uz. The cup also shall pass through unto thee. Thou shalt be drunken and make thyself naked. Yeah, so you Edomites should be rejoicing, man. All right, hey, this little last piece of kingdom you got left, man. All right, you shouldn't wear no mask nowhere. You know, hey, you should just be wilding out. You know, hey, you should be wilding out, man. You know, let these niggas know how you feel, man. Stop worrying about being politically correct, man. Let that hatred out, man. Get it out your system, because this is the last time that you're going to be able to do this, man. You know, so you Edomite should be fully, you know, embracing the little piece of Edomite kingdom, Edomite's supremacy that you have left, man. You know, but now that cup finna pass to you, and you're gonna be drunken, which means what it's gonna overwhelm you. All right, and it says the punishment of the iniquity of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion. He will no more carry thee away into captivity. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sin. See, now Esau Edom and his wicked rulership and everything he's done is being addressed. Now everything is coming out, and our captivity is ending. You see, everybody want to talk about you know, Moab, you know, so-called Chinese, you know, Russians, you know, all these different nations. You see how they're advancing, and you know how they already, you know, have different technology and social crediting systems and all these different things. No, What you need to be talking about is the Lord, all right, is ending the captivity of his people Israel. All right, the house of David being built. You see, that's what needs to be talked about. All right, because that's who's coming next, man. You know, that's who the Lord is grooming. All right, to be next, man. You know, you heathens, you done. Like I always get. Let's get that in Psalms. Then we'll go back to Psalm 75. All right, this is Psalms. All right, 1. This is Psalms 122 and 5. It says, "For there are set thrones of judgments, all right, of judgment, the thrones of the house of David." And that's what's coming to the earth, man. The thrones of the house of David, man. You know, that's what's being established, all right, in the earth, man. You know, that's why the men, all right, those 12,000 men from each tribe are being raised up, man. All right, for the next rulership to come. All right, righteous rulership. You know, ain't gonna be no damn gooks, man. Moab ain't got it. All right. Moab did not have it. He's very overrated. They hype him up, you know, like he just some super, you know, genius in the earth. No, man. Moab ain't got it. All right. And this is Psalm 75 and 9. It says, "But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the power of Jacob. All the horns, all right, which is the powers, all right, of the wicked shall be cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted." You see, and that's what we coming into. The horns of the righteous, all right, will be exalted. You see, the power structure of the righteous, that Mount Zion, all right, Yahushua sitting on the throne of David, that governing body, all right, of the elect, you know, 144,000. That's what's going to be exalted in the earth, man. You know, and it expounds on it more, you know, some more in 1 Samuel, the 2nd chapter. You see? This is 2 Samuel chapter 2. All right. I start at 7. It says, "The Lord maketh poor and maketh rich. He bringeth low and lifteth up." All right. Going back to what we just said, promotion comes from who? How about Shema Shai? All right. Demotion comes from who? How about Shema Shai? He makes those decisions. All right. He makes those executive orders, you know, in the heavens, and they play out in the earth. You see, it says he raises up the poor out of the dust. All right. And the house of David is that poor that's being raised out of what? Confusion. All right. And lifted up the beggar from the dunghill. Yeah. He lifted us up from a place of dishonor, being a beggar. You know, that's a dishonorable life to live, man. Hey, the scriptures say a beggar's life is no life at all. You know why, man? Because we've been reduced to such a low estate. But he said he gonna lift the beggar from the dunghill, that great promotion, to set them among princes in rulership, and to make them to inherit the throne of glory. And there are set, all right, and then there are set judgments, all right, thrones of judgments, the thrones of the house of David. You see, it said, "For the pillars of the earth are the Lord's, and he have set the world upon them." All right, he will keep the feet of his saints, and the wicked shall be silent in darkness, for by strength shall no man prevail. Yeah, Esau, Edom is getting ready to be in silence and in darkness, man. All right, like scripture said, "For by strength shall no man prevail." There's nothing that these devils can do to keep themselves in power. All right, so he's going to be silent, which means what? He's not going to have any more say so about the affairs on earth, man. All right, his influence is about to be stripped away. I would say, come and sit down in the dust. You see, while he's raising us up out of the dust, he's telling Esau Edom to go sit in the dust. You know, there's no more throne for thee. You see, but he's going to lift us out of the dust, and we're going to inherit the throne of glory. You see, verse 10 said, "The adversaries of the Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai shall be broken to pieces." And the main adversaries, Esau Edom, what these other nations have allied themselves with Esau Edom. All right, making themselves adversaries to Yahweh by Shema Shai, and they're all going to be broken to pieces. "Out of the heavens shall he thunder upon them. The Lord Yahweh by Shema Shai shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king Yahushua, and exalt the horn of his all right, anointed, man. All right. So we're finna see a great promotion for the nation of Israel, beginning with the elect and the great demotion, all right, of Esau, Edom, and all these heathens, all right, that partake, all right, and benefit from this man's rulership. You see? So I'm gonna let a little bit more of it play. Go back to it. Yep, that's the precept. Ain't the water, bro. This is Ecclesiasticus 40:28. It says, "My son, lead not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to beg." You see that? You know? So he said he lift up the beggar from the dunghill, man, which means he's lifting us up from the very bottom to the very top, man, like the scriptures say. He that last shall be first, and the first shall be last. That's really talking about Jacob and Esau. You know, when you really go into it, Yahweh Shah was really, you know, shooting the shot at Esau, man. You know, because Esau, you know, will be first, all right, in the time of the second coming. You see? Like shalom to the brother GMS, look up the brother Anah out of Memphis, you know. But yeah, let's play some more. All right, another clip.
Our leaders, I can't ever remember an American president saying something like what I am about to say. We are going to cooperate with China, Russia, and India, and together the four of us are going to create a space station that will be good for the world. Those words just don't come out of our leaders. It's always about beating and besting and we're better. I wonder if it's we should consider the shift.
I think it's being forced on us. I don't want to monopolize it, but it's being forced on us. You know, right now there's a meeting in the world to discuss what to do about the monopoly.
Hey, he says being forced on us. And it's being forced through Yahweh Shem Al Shai. You know, he's right. He just don't have the full knowledge of what's going on. It's being forced by Yahweh Shem Al Shai, man. You know?
Please. That control the vaccines against COVID. The United States and the EU are trying to hold on to their monopoly rights.
Yeah.
100 other countries are trying to get that suspended temporarily. I mean, everywhere we turn, the issue you posed, Rick, is the one. Are we going to work it out? Or are we going to go down fighting? And my fear is if we do the latter, we will go down for sure. And that's a very scary prospect.
Rick Tomlinson, you get the last word.
Yeah, I think the thing to watch out for here, by the way, if you've ever watched Firefly or Serenity, one of the great things they did in there was the two languages of space in the future are English and Chinese. Right. If we do this right and we allow the private sector in both countries and all the countries to do their thing, I think we're all going to be able to get out there together. This isn't a national type situation. We're seeing the vestiges of this in these kinds of situations. But in the long run, it's the private sector that's really going to be the ones leading the way.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? You know, it almost seems like because we have these two political parties, if one guy says we're going to work with them, then the other party says he's weak. So he has to go out there and say, we're going to kill him, we're going to beat him, we're better. It's language that seems almost Cold War-ish and somewhat outdated, but it's the world we live in, gentlemen. My thanks to both of you for the conversation. It's one we should have more often. Thanks again. So here is, thank you guys.
So there you have it, man. You know, and these Edomites know it's a great change, all right, that's coming to the earth, man. You see, they know, all right, that America can't go on as this superpower just ruling over these nations, man. All right, they can feel, all right, a rebellion amongst these nations of the earth, and the scriptures speak about that, man. So let's get it, you know, let's get a couple more, you know, before we close out. All right. Well, there you have it, man. You know, we see why the Most High gonna bust Asia up. You know, we see what they're doing, where their mind is at. You know, and the scripture prophesied directly about that, man. That's why what other book can you go and watch a RT America news clip and then go to the scriptures and break that clip down, man? What other book can do that, man? You know? But then people always want to question the Bible, whether it's real, that's the white man's book, is this, is that. Well, go get another book that's doing what the Bible is doing, man. You know, you can't do it. You see? So let's get that in Habakkuk. All right. It's the book of Habakkuk. All right. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. It says, yeah, also because he transgressed by wine. All right. And Esau Edom has transgressed by wine. And what he said, he spread out their wine to these other nations. He said, all the nations have drunk of the wine for what? Her fornication. You see? And Esau Edom, he looks at the earth and see how the earth is following his influence, and he's proud, man. You know? It says because he transgresses by wine, he's a proud man, neither keep it at home. Yeah, he's everywhere. You see, military bases everywhere, military personnel everywhere. You see? He's all, you know, in the South China Sea. He's all in the Black Sea. You know, he's in the Strait of Hormuz. He's everywhere. You see, the Persian Gulf. He's everywhere. You know, entangled in the affairs of all these other nations that has nothing to do with him, man. It said, who enlarges his desire as hell and is death and cannot be satisfied. Yeah, Esau Edom ain't trying to, you know, share his rulership, man. All right. He's not satisfied with the resources that he has stolen from the nation. He's not satisfied with how much the earth followed his influence. You know, he just gonna keep pressing and pressing, man. It says, but gather unto him all nations and heap it unto him all people. Yeah, the earth is likened, you know, the people of the earth are likened unto Edomites, man. You look at everyone, so it's a suit and tie. That's the token of success in the earth, is that clean shaven, all right, that Roman shaven face with the suit and tie, man. You know, you look at the leaders of these nations, man. All right, that's their token of prosperity, is their suit and tie. A nigga in America, his token of success is what, that suit and tie with that smooth Roman face, man. All right. Verse 6, it says, shall not all these take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his. How long? Yeah, how long are we going to let America just dominate the earth, man? You know, and we got to live off they scraps. You know, they put sanctions on us when they feel like it. When we have an opinion about them, they put sanctions on us. How long are we going to let, all right, this American superpower just dominate us like this, man? It says, and to him that laid himself with thick clay, which is their debt. All right, America is heavily into debt. You see, it said, verse 7, shall not they rise up suddenly and shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them. All right, because thou hast spoiled many nations, and the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein. Yeah, so now we see these nations, the council is, all right, is writing America out the script. You know, that's the topic amongst these nations, man. All right, and America is finna be spoiled, man. All right, and that main spoiling is gonna be nuclear destruction, man. You know, it's gonna consist of these nations, all right, raining missiles on America, man. You know, let's get that in Isaiah 40, 46. You know, because at the end of the day, we're just watching the prophecies play out, man, directly according to the plan. All right, this is Isaiah 46 and 9. It says, remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High, and there is none else. I am the Most High, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure, man. You see? So the Most High, you know, spoke of these things, happening from the beginning. You know, and we're seeing these things play out exactly according to how they're written and spoken of in the scriptures, man. You know, so the Most High is doing his pleasure in the earth, and this is pleasure, all right, to set Esau up, you know, for a great destruction, all right, to send Yahushua back to conquer these heathens and deliver his elect and establish the throne of David in the earth eternally, man. All right, eternally. You see, that's his pleasure. That's the end game, you know, according to the scriptures. So, you know, that was the point. You know, I pray that you brothers, you know, you sisters was edified. You know, once again, give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostle LGMS who rule well, teach well, being a great example towards younger brothers. And peace and blessing, salutation, and hope for elect. Till next time, I say shalom. Kwam Yashala, Abba, Abba.